Hello everyone and welcome to Go Again, a fabulous cast. This week's Arcane Rising spoilers were all about the Wizards. That's what we're doing today is a Wizarding Week recap. Can you say combo? Because Kano sure can. So just a reminder what this guy does. So instant for 3, look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a non-attack action card, you can banish it, and then you can play it this turn as if it were an instant. Right? So what it does is it just kind of allows him to cheat stuff out on your turn, trying to slide that arcane damage through, which is his thing. Obviously at 30, we knew he was going to be a glass cannon, kind of coming out hard swinging in the balancing effect with the low health, but man, this guy can really combo-wombo stuff out. So just a reminder real quick on Whisper the Oracle. We'd already seen that, kind of talked about it before, but this allows you to opt is the new thing. But basically it's, scry, go look at your top of your deck and you can kind of set it up. That'll help not only him, but it will also help a lot of the cards that we see spoiled this week. So let's just start going through them. So we did see his wand spoiled. It is a two-handed wand, or so it's a staff, I guess, right? But once per turn instant, 1, the next card you play this turn with an effect that deals arcane damage instead deals that much damage plus 1. So that in of itself isn't all that great. However, there are some of the cards that this will feed into that can actually help it. Our Ether Spindle, this was spelled by Sapphire City Gaming, so it's just a straight up, and this is the red version, the one-pitch version. Deal 4 arcane damage to target opposing hero, but it also has opt, so it can also help set up, which that's useful. This is 2, so that's a little on the more expensive side, but again, you're dealing that 4 damage that cannot be modified by normal defense, has to be taken out by some other method. All right, then Adept Events had 2, so Stir the Etherwinds is a 2-drop. This is for the one-pitch version. You may play your next wizard non-attack as if though it were an instant, and if it had an effect that deals arcane damage, instead that effect deals that much arcane damage plus 3. That seems pretty good, especially when you go into the big win here, which is Forked Lightning. So this is a super note. Deal 2 arcane damage to target hero, period. Deal 2 arcane damage to target hero, period. Now what's interesting about this is they said that it's still considered to be one source. So you're dealing 2 packets as one source, but anything that would block it would only be able to block it as a source. Meaning it's still a single source, right? So if you had something that reduced the amount by 1, my understanding is that the total packet dealt by Forked Lightning would be basically modified and doubled if you were adding something to it. But because you're only dealing that one source, something like the gear that we've seen would still only reduce the total by 1. That is my current understanding of how this works. So obviously these two are very combo-y together. They are expensive, but so in this case, right, if you were to stir the other winds for 3, that would make it 5 and 5, right? So you would deal all of that. Now, this of course would be a very expensive combo, but there are definitely ways to make that happen. Okay, so obviously this is a very straight. That's why these guys were giving them both very straight combo, but this one has some serious potential here. All right, next is Absorb in Aether. So the next card you play this turn with an effect that deals arcane damage instead deals that much damage plus 2, right? So very, very similarly, right? You could 1, in this case, you can 1 into the 3. It's only a 4 pitch in that case. So next we have the Kano specialization. This one is pretty brutal. Blazing Ether, deal X arcane damage to target hero, where X is the amount of arcane damage you have dealt to that hero this turn. Whoa, right? So if you can pull off some, and this one is 0, by the way, right? So you pull off some big hit, you set your deck up, you Kano out, you get it, maybe you have it in your hand. Either way, this one can really start stockpiling the damage on. So this is majestic, right? So this is not going to be super highly available, at least in the early days. But this card is pretty good. Next is the Tome of Aetherwind. Choose 2. You may choose the same mode more than once. The next card you play this turn with an effect that deals arcane damage and deals that much plus 1. That's good, but I think the real win is draw a card. So you're probably most of the time for 0 just going to be drawing 2 cards here. That seems pretty decent, and I'll remember this would use your action, except we have the Kano stuff, right? So there's a lot of tricks and stuff here. All right, next we have for us by Classroom Cafe, we have Lesson in Lava. This is also a Kano spec. Deal 3 arcane damage to opposing hero. If Lesson in Lava deals damage, you may search your deck for a wizard card with 1 cost equal to or less than the damage dealt by Lesson in Lava. Reveal it, and then shuffle your deck and put it on top of your deck. Do note that Lesson in Lava costs 1, hits for 3, right? So you can be proccing Lesson in Lava. Or other things. Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom. Deal 3 arcane damage to target opposing hero. If Sonic Boom deals damage, look at the top card of your deck. If it's a wizard non-attack action card, you may banish it. If you do, you may play it this turn as though it were an instant and costs X research points to play, where X is the damage dealt by Sonic Boom. Whoa. Whoa again. This is obviously a Majestic, because the same thing. Like, this card is real good. This card is real good. So, kind of looking it over. So that's really the end of the cards. I mean, you guys can already. I mean, a lot of you guys are way smarter than me about this stuff. Like, the combos kind of start building themselves, and there's even tricks that we all probably haven't gotten our heads around yet, right? But at the very least, like, Time Snap Potion seems like it's going to be pretty much a include in this deck just to try to stack stuff. I mean, I see this guy being able to hit pretty hard if once people can get their decks built, decks optimized. I think this guy's going to be a real danger. So the downsides of Kano, as I see them, and I don't even just mean in gameplay, I mean in the game in general, the downside of him is that it really looks like this deck needs to be pretty tricked out to be able to pull off the crazy stuff that we want to do. So that's going to be a little harder for people like me who are more tempered in how they get into this game, right? If you're more of a casual person, I think it's going to be very hard to play Kano super effectively. But the flip side of that is, of course, the people who are aggressively going to be chasing down these cards because they're going to want to trick out their decks. That should make the Kano, the wizard cards, a little higher, or at least a little more sought after. So if you're like me, again, still trying to fill out some of your old decks for supers and majestics, you should probably be able to leverage the wizard cards in a trade more towards your advantage, right? It's because people are going to be wanting them, they're going to be needing them, right? Missing like a Dorinthia super, I don't think is going to be as impactful to a Dorinthia or Katsu or someone like that as it would be to Kano. So I think those cards are going to be really chased. So if you're able to get one, you can definitely leverage it for what you're looking for. So I don't know, that's just my take. This guy looks real cool. It's very exciting to start to have these new mechanics come into play, right? I mean, I'm not saying the other 4 heroes that we had before play exactly the same. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not a crazy person. But really, if you look at fundamentally, they were all really based off the same mechanics in terms of dealing damage, right? I mean, they had different keywords and stuff like that, and you would play them differently. But this is a completely new mechanic we're looking at that really changes just the way the game fundamentally operates. So I think that's very exciting to kind of bring changes to the game. So anyway, that is the Wizarding Week recap. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I know there's a lot of people out there very excited about it, but let me know what you're thinking. And if nothing else, go Commando.